ana takama da police mun da ke fawa an gwada muna police kowa ya fito da police shi ana takama da police na yi mu ma muna da fawa muna police.
They boast of police. We are in power and you want to intimidate us with police. Let everybody come out with their police. We are in power. We also have our police.
That's the sound of a man who was at the center of disturbances at Aboabo number 1 in Kumasi on Monday. Some residents of Aboabo have described him, who also pulled the pistol at the registration center, as one of the thugs who have been harassing residents in that area. One of them, who spoke with Love News, said he has personally been warned by the guy to stop his normal education program he runs on radio or face his wrath.
For Boyo, as I know him, Boyo. Okay, we are in the same community with him.
Meanwhile, police in the Ashanti region have begun investigations into the matter. They are ever yet to pick the suspects. Let's delve deep into this matter, because joining me via Zoom for more is Emmanuel Bombande. He's conflict resolution, peace building and development expert. Mr. Bombande, I'm grateful that you joined us. I'm sure you've been following this conversation from when the gentleman in question pulled the pistol a few days ago. What do you make of these fresh allegations?
Good evening, Nasha, and good evening to all your viewers. Yes, I've been monitoring the incidences of violence, particularly the one in Aboabo that you referred to, and it's very disturbing. It's something that draws our attention again to the period in which we are preparing for a major election. And the first question that comes to my mind is, should the people of Ghana every 4 years go through this cycle of trauma, anxiety, and violence? And the more I ask myself these questions, I frame it rather as an urgent need that is also collective, and particularly to be led by the police to ensure that we end all the incidences of violence we are seeing, such as in Aboabo, in order that we can truly prepare for a peaceful election in December. In other words, there is a causal link between these incidences and what is likely going to happen in December. We cannot delink what we are seeing now from its potential to spill over into December. And the true test of the police is how they assure the people of Ghana that they can deal with these incidences now. And that assurance can carry itself forward to December. If they let what we are seeing happening go out of hand, then Ghanaians can as well brace themselves, because then the indication, the sign will be that in December, the police will not be able to handle the violence that could wait us.
The two major political parties, the NDC and MPP, say they do not see anything wrong with their supporters, talk less of cautioning and helping solve the matter. Are you satisfied with their responses so far?
Well, first of all, let me make a specific reference to the video clip that you have shared with us. Is this man a political operator? He claims he operates as a national security. So the first concern is that he's taking advantage of a national security system in which you actually do not know the operatives to assume that is national security. So the first thing is the national security must come out and disown this man so that the people of Ghana know that you cannot just go around and call yourself national security when you are not. And if the police are proactive in doing these type of things, we can then take the statements of the political parties as serious as they are. Because I want to believe that in the competition, the political parties will not be deliberately orchestrating violence. But the violence is being orchestrated in such a way that the political parties are not the only actors. You have other actors. I'm sure very soon we'll begin to hear about the setting up of the National Security Coordination Task Force for the elections. And was it last week, the chair of the Electoral Commission, she came out to say that the commission cannot be held accountable to the violence. So you see the need for an interdependence of various institutions to end the violence. The political parties are one stakeholder. The security agencies are the front line when it comes to peace and security. And to that extent, I see the interlinkage. So that when we talk about the role of the political parties, their assurances are not enough as long as they are not the ones in control of actors on the ground who are either using the name of the police or the security to abuse and violate the laws established.
Now, if things remain like this in an already charged atmosphere leading to elections, Mr. Bombande, what's the reality going forward?
So first of all, my good sister, let me quickly expand the reality. The reality is that we are faced with a global coronavirus pandemic in which the global economic outlook is grim. And everybody, including the top economists, the World Trade Organization just predicted that there will be a major economic recession. That internally will continue to impact. So as we struggle to deal with our responses, the last thing we want to add is violence in our politics leading to elections. Ghana cannot cope with election violence on top of dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. That is why elections 2020 will be different from 2016 or 2012 or 2008, precisely because in these other elections, we struggled within our means to conduct peaceful elections. In 2020, we are trying to conduct credible and peaceful elections in an environment of a global pandemic. I also want to add that when we look at it from this frame of mind, it is more urgent for everybody to know that it's in our hands. We have a capacity to make the elections peaceful. We might not have been the ones who brought about the pandemic, but we are the ones who can bring about the peace. And that is why it doesn't matter what the Electoral Commission is able to do. It doesn't matter how we evaluate their success. The elections will not be credible if they are also violent. So in order for the elections to be credible, they must also be peaceful. So every stakeholder must be involved. The voices of citizens, women organizations, political parties, and the interests of Ghana first, above everything else, is more important today than ever before.
I'm grateful, extremely grateful for your time. Mr. Emmanuel Bombande is a peace building and conflict resolution and development aspect. And he's been talking about the pockets of violence we're experiencing in some registration centers. So